The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Tuesday, the 29th day of November, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House, One Communications and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sencha Durham, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sencha, how was your weekend?
Good morning. I feel like I'm a special guest now. I haven't been here in so long, right?
Yeah. She's never available, folks. She's
That's
busy, you know.
not true. We
You
had
know.
2 days,
Mm,
where you were over there relaxing,
mm, mm.
and then the week started, and here we are. How
Well, I
was
mean, we have had quite a few breaks in November, honestly. We've had two
that?
long weekends in November, and I mean, I think we're well rested for it, don't you think?
Jamal, I'm not rested.
I know. I haven't even asked what you and Maddox did over the weekend yet.
You
I
know what?
mean,
It was actually a slow weekend for us.
that's not possible.
It is. My boy Maddox, he played football on Saturday, scored 2 goals
All right,
ag-
now.
against Village.
See, no, you didn't have to say that last part. There goes his Christmas gift.
Against Village. He did really, really well. And
Mm.
then we just kind of took it slow. We had my staff Christmas dinner on Saturday. That was nice. I love getting together with the girls at Nail Bar. And
Didn't
then
you all have like a World Cup party you didn't invite me to?
so we actually are doing something for the guys.
Oh.
So we are inviting men to come and get their hands and their feet done while
Mm,
we watch the World Cup and
mm.
have a few beers and
Oh,
cocktails.
hold on. They ain't gonna be watching World Cup while doing fingers and feet, are they?
Yes.
Oh,
Why not?
oh, okay. Well,
Men's Day is on Wednesday at Nail Bar, Jamal. But
okay,
here in Bermuda, we're gonna get you in on a Wednesday so that you
okay.
can experience it.
I'll be there, folks. And World Cup. You know what? Actually, speaking of World Cup, who's UM Maddox team again? Did you guys switch teams?
Portugal?
I thought you switched teams.
No. Hi, I have a 6-year-old, Ronaldo. It ain't nothing else
He
going on.
weren't Messi before.
Pardon?
He weren't Messi before.
Messi comes after Ronaldo.
Okay.
He hasn't even watched a Messi game. So
Okay. All right. I'm just checking. I thought, Uncle Jamal. I switch every now
and
and then.
Brazil was the last time I heard Brazil was your team. We haven't talked since
No,
World
no. Let me
Cup.
be clear. I'm not for Brazil. Brazil was who I picked to win it. Yeah, I picked him to win it. But you know what? This morning, it's actually the first day. There's no 5 a.m. games my time, 6 a.m. Bermuda.
I was hurt.
Yeah.
Because Maddox and I wake up at 6 a.m. and watch the game. And I woke up this morning. I was like, what? Wait, what's going on?
Well,
I look forward to it.
no, I actually enjoyed there not being a game simply because I could jog and not have to worry about tripping over stuff because I'm watching my phone as I jog. So I was happy about it. But today is a big day,
Why?
because the U.S. and Iran play. U.S. has to win to advance, and then the English and the Wales, and the English folks and the Wales people, they were scrapping in the streets and stuff. They were fighting, and they ain't even played the game yet. I don't know, man. It's
Who is
looking
your team
tough.
then, Jamal? Who's your team?
I'm for the African teams. I'm for the Black African teams. So, like for me, I love to see Ghana yesterday win, and I enjoyed seeing Cameroon, even though I don't know what it's going to look like for them against Brazil in the final group game, and then Senegal. So those are the teams I've been rooting for because they just haven't traditionally done well. I mean, Ghana had a chance some years ago against Uruguay to make it to the semifinals, and this year the winner out of Ghana and Uruguay actually gets out the group stage with Portugal. So that's a showdown everyone's looking forward to. So I'm excited. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, and I will say this much, Sancha.
Mm-hmm.
And you understand this. Everyone who knows me knows I'm very much routine. I'm very disciplined about my routine. I'm in bed at like between 9 and 10. I try and like wake up 5, go for my jog, whatever. I'm very disciplined with that. However, as an adult, this has probably been the most distracted I've been in my life. I mean, folks, the game's on. Well, I'm not watching it when I'm driving and I'm listening. I'm tuning in. And I had my colleague in my car going for lunch yesterday. I'm like, can she like just
stop talking?
Yeah, like I love her. Good people, right? But I'm trying to. Brazil was playing. We would, I'm trying to. But anyway, folks, that's not why you're here.
This is I am the only girl in my office that's
What's
watching.
that?
I'm the only female in my office that's watching, and I have it on my computer. And I'm like, no! And people's coming into my office.
They need to tune in, Sancha. They need to tune in.
I do.
Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome a Bermudian shining star actor. Daren Herbert is jumping on the show with us today. The Daily Play is more holiday trivia. Did Phil get yesterday? It's like, don't think he did. So they need Sancha to make a bounce back. Today's is holiday trivia has been very easy for these guys. So
I enjoy holiday trivia.
Yeah. I think you'll get today's. Yeah, I think you'll get today's. But let's get right into the question. So I know Bermudians for years have complained about customer service lines, like they call the bank, for instance, and they get someone outside of Bermuda, maybe in Asia somewhere, or just a non-Bermudian, they want to speak to a Bermudian. So I know Bermuda has had their own issues regarding customer service. Obviously, Sancha, you as a business owner, do you have someone over in Asia does answer your phone?
Never.
Oh, I'm just checking.
I don't care how big we get. Never.
I just got to ask these things before I go into it. So, folks, Frontier Airlines, no, it doesn't fly to Bermuda. As you know, not many airlines do right now, but that's going to change real soon. Frontier Airlines actually announced, this according to CNN, they no longer have a customer service phone line, right? So customers who need flight information or want to make a change to travel plans can no longer call Frontier Airlines and speak to an agent, the company confirmed to CNN on Saturday. Starting last week, the ultra low-cost airline said it has transitioned to fully digital communications. Customers seeking help or information from the carrier must deal with an online chatbot, social media channels, or WhatsApp. Those who need to speak to a live agent can use the carrier's 24/7 chat tool. Question of the morning, very simple to the audience, is, first off, yes or no? Do you call customer service if you have an issue, or do you yes or no? Do you call customer service? And I'll tell you why I asked that question before we get into the question, Sancha, is I learned this trick some years ago, right? If you tweet a company, they will respond so fast. Like you tweet, I'll say it. I tweeted Delta. Man, my problems got handled like that, like quickly, right? But folks, audience, let us know. Do you actually call customer service lines? Yes or no? Do you call your bank or whatever, or do you go on? Like, what do you do? Do you call customer service lines, Sandra?
I'm a caller.
Oh.
I am a caller. I feel like I'm so old school in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy customer service. I enjoy speaking to live people. And recently it's been difficult. You know what I mean? Because everyone is starting to follow this format. And I can say I've had situations, not of recent times, but like years ago, where I know American Airlines had gone into the same thing, where you're trying to call. And have you been like in a situation where it's urgent that you speak to an agent, like flight is about to leave, you need to speak to somebody, something's going on, and you're in the queue for an hour?
So you're a caller. You do call. So
I am.
I mean, Here's the question of the morning. What concerns you most about changes in customer service over the years is the question. Sean Smith says, when I am dealing with the bank outside of the chatbots. So you call when you're dealing with the bank outside of, help me out with that, Sean. Help me understand. Because the question we were asking is, are you a caller? Are you a caller? Caller John says, I only call as a last resort. My hearing loss makes it difficult to understand what someone is saying over the phone, especially if they have an accent. Good point, Carla. So question of the morning, what concerns you most about the changes in customer service over the years? Again, Frontier Airline announced via CNN that they will no longer have a customer service call line, right? Me personally, I just want to get my stuff done. If going on, like, let's use a website, for instance, Sandra. I go on the website first to try to chat to someone, a live person. I don't want the chat bot, so I go live person. The reason I started going that route is because when calling some of these companies, Sandra, I was on the line for like, it says 10-minute wait, and then it's 15. And then what started happening, I don't know if it's on purpose, especially with airlines, you just get cut off. Right? So I just started getting, I started tweeting. Someone said no. And I think there's a friend I met in the industry. She said, Jamel, tweet them. No, the reason they respond to tweets so fast is because it's in the public domain and they don't like bad publicity. If you tweet a company, they will respond so fast, and what they will say via their versus on the phone would be so different, the tone. But that's the question of the morning, folks. What concerns you most about the changes in customer service over the years? What concerns you the most, Sandra?
I don't know. So I get you do the live chats. I get my patience for these things is so minimal, and I get so frustrated when I have to explain to one person and they're like, hold on, let me, and then I'm explaining again. And then even in those live chats and I'm typing and I'm just like, Jesus, take the wheel. and then I start getting short, and I know I get mean, and I don't want to be that person. And I really appreciate when I can just pick up the phone call and get to the bottom of it all.
No, I agree with you. I completely understand what you mean.
And I feel like it's room for a company to look at this and it be a perk. You know what?
Yeah.
You call, you speak to a live agent. And I know we're trying to cut costs, we're trying to cut, all of those things. But for me, I would probably go with the airline that I know I can pick up the phone and actually speak to someone if something goes on or, something goes wrong, rather than having to go through a chat bot and digital and social. My social media ain't up to par, Jamal. But now I see the practice to Twitter. I need to get on Twitter so I can tweeting these people like, hey.
Twitter definitely gives you access that you didn't have. But folks, we're talking Frontier Airline has basically eliminated their customer service call line. So everything is now digital. I know Bermudians for years have had issues calling customer service and getting someone overseas or someone who doesn't understand them or they don't understand. So what are your concerns about changes in customer service over the years? We've got Nachika Trott and Sherry Vanderpool for you, Sandra.
Nachika Trott, online chat is fine as it provides a written record of conversation. That's a very good point. Yeah. Sherry is definitely a caller like me. I love the callback services.
Yeah, I like that. And not every company offers that. I want to say like my phone company, which I haven't called in ages, probably a few years, but I think they have that. I think Delta has a callback option, if I'm not mistaken.
I have trust issues.
You don't think they're going to call you back? No, I think Delta's very good at it. But the thing is, it's like, sometimes you forget that this person call you back, and you know me.
And then your phone rings, and you're like, "What?"
Like my phone's on silent, but if I see it, I'm like, it may say Delta, but I'm like, I don't even remember this. Sean Smith says, I use companies' chatbots, but I call banks. So he will use the digital options unless it's a bank. Oh, I get you, Sean. I get you. Sherry Vanderpool says, I will also request to speak to someone I can understand if information is getting lost in translation. But to Sandra's point, I don't like having to explain myself to multiple people. Honestly.
I take deep breaths.
Yeah. But I want something else Sancha said that I think should stand out to people as well. We understand businesses are trying to cut costs, but having that is actually a perk. Like, think about it. If a bank in Bermuda, and I don't know about all the banks in Bermuda, but a lot of people get upset because when they call their banks, they get someone outside of Bermuda. Imagine if one bank said, you know what, we're going to have local customer service. Now, again, I don't know if they do. I don't know if they do it or not.
I feel like Butterfield may. Like, I think occasionally, because I have a Butterfield account, but I don't use it all the time. So I only call like occasionally or something. So I have reached people in Bermuda from time to time, and then it is overseas. So Butterfield might.
Yeah.
But I know from HSBC.
Well, I was trying not to name banks, so one bank does, another bank doesn't.
Sorry.
Yeah. Essential just went there. But no, I mean, it's good to know a bank seemingly does. But I think that's the most trouble Bermudians have with the banks, right? I think that would be it. Renee Simmons says the automation is disturbing. Too many segments to get a live. So you don't enjoy the music?
No, but they're like, press 1, press 2, then press 5, now press 0. Why can't we just press 0 to begin with?
Yeah, 0.
I need to speak to somebody, press 0. Don't try to figure out my issue. And then they're like, key in your number. What is this? And what is your issue? Listen, can I just talk to the live person?
Sancha, you one of those people who's like, when it actually options, you press agent. Yeah, that's me.
I would like to speak to an agent.
That's me. Honestly, I'm that person. I'm definitely that person. Yeah, I am. Carla John says the inability to speak to a human customer service agent will really affect seniors, people with disabilities. And what is that word? Ludits. You all know my level. Come on now, the most. But I get your point, Carla John. But the sad thing is when companies are making these decisions, are they considering?
No.
That's sad.
No, I think it's all about the bottom line.
And that's sad because without your customers, there's no bottom line, right?
But we have no choice. If they're all doing it, where else are we going to go?
Yeah.
And then when you're looking at Frontier, you're talking about the cost of a flight rather than are you really willing to pay that extra money? Like people that are trying to get places and not have to pay a whole lot or don't have a big budget for it, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Nicole Walker says, I call the banks and OneCom. I mostly use chat features for online shopping sites, so I have a record of it. Rosalind Famous for your sister, Sancha.
Rosalind Famous says, in general, I feel like we're moving away from the simple basics and common sense.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And at what cost, right?
Yeah.
At what cost? Folks, what are your thoughts? Any comments? What concerns you most about the changes in customer service?
But you know what I think is cool? You know how like things come back around and it almost becomes like a trend? Hopefully it'll come back around and some amazing person would be like, you know what? I think we should have live agents, you know, and it becomes a trend again, like maybe in about 10 years.
I think it will for some reason. I think because I think going back to what you said earlier, I think people will see it as a perk. You know, something to add. I think it will come back around. Sherry Vanderpool says Delta's definitely good at the callbacks. Sean DeShields and Sam Cat plays for you, Sancha.
Sean DeShield says most large companies are moving away from human call incentives to artificial intelligence options. AI help desk options will be the norm in the near future. Sam Cat Place says, I use both, but tend to ask for a manager for banking because I don't want it to keep explaining myself. That's me. Can I speak to a manager, please?
Yep. I'm that person. Folks, what's your thoughts? What concerns do you have about it? What concerns you most? Thank you, Rosalind Famous. You know, you got to help your boy, huh? You know, La Dietz. All right, La Dietz. Carla John says Sancha is big mad.
Big mad.
Yeah.
Big mad.
She definitely gonna be mad. Tanya Cheeseman says I am a caller for sure, not a fan of chats, and there is an option to speak to someone directly by pressing zero. Sorry, if there's an option to directly speak to someone by pressing 0, I do. That's me.
Yeah. It's definitely a pet peeve for me. Like,
Mhm.
it frustrates me.
Yeah, I mean, Sandra's not going to do that to you all, folks. She ain't going to do it. Deb Ford says Digicel is the sovereign for automated systems. Rosalind Famous says, I was thinking the same thing, Sandra. And then Chico Trot says, it does not matter the format. The big concern is how long is the wait time in either online or a phone call. And I'm glad you said this because they tell you in the chat, oh, approximate wait time is 10 minutes. The phone, approximate wait time 10 minutes. I think here, though, the issue is the phone option's been taken away. The phone option's been taken away, so it's only digital.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just think that when things happen, we want to speak to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Let's
like
bring Maya in and see what she thinks. She. What do you think? Maya's a caller or digital?
Definitely not. Maya is not a caller. I will bet you $5. Maya is not a caller.
No, I'm broke.
I'm
I
gonna
can't pay
sneeze you.
$5.
I bet you a mocktail. She's not a caller.
No, I agree with you. I can't bet you. I agree with you. But what if we're both wrong?
Then Maya buys us a mocktail.
All right, cool. Let's do it. Let's bring Maya in and see what she thinks.
Good morning, good morning. This is Daily On Newsbreak brought to you by People's Pharmacy.
Well.
Not only am I a caller, Sancha, if they're in Bermuda locally, I will show up to the store and talk to someone in person.
I did not for that.
Wow. Well, I guess we owe Maya mocktail. Yeah. So like, I guess, how would you like Sovereign? What's the airline called? So, what's it called again? I said Sovereign because someone Frontier Airlines, right? So Frontier Airlines eliminating customer service, right? That would bother you then?
Yes, 1,000%. I've actually waited, like I think with Delta or whatever, over an hour. If I know I have to call on airlines, I already have my day scheduled. I'm home. Okay, cool. I put my phone down. And I can be waiting on hold for over an hour because I can expect that, and I'll be chill actually.
This is to my point. This is not going to last long. We're going to have like this new generation that likes to have direct communication come through, and it's going to be like, yes, we have a new idea. Agents. It's not going to last long.
Time will tell, folks. Definitely interesting. What you got for us in the news today, Maya?
Well, starting out with the news this morning, the Bermuda Police Service actually held a press conference yesterday, and they said that they are aware of a number of social media posts accusing individuals of providing information which may have led to criminals being incarcerated. The Commissioner of Police, Dan Simon, says in the strongest possible terms, it is dangerous and has the propensity to put lives of individuals at risk, all the more if the information is wrong. An individual has been identified that police believe is responsible for these posts, and steps are being taken in various levels, both locally and internationally, to try to get these posts withdrawn.
So, people have a lot of time on their hands. I see nothing productive about it, and I'll just leave it at that. I just don't see anything productive about it.
I want to say I urge people when they receive stuff like this to stop it. Like, I had said earlier, someone had forwarded me something. I'm like, I am not engaging in this. I'm not, like, delete it from your phone. Let that person know it's silly. We have people out here that are really getting hurt, and we're asking the community to be a part of it, to let's solve these cases, to make our community a safer place for all of us, our kids, for all of us. And then you're going to have someone that comes out and does something like this. And like the police said, it may not even be true. It may be, and the amounts of people that we're putting at risk, it needs to stop. And we have to be a part of that. So when someone thinks that it's fun or funny, like, oh, look at this, please stop it and tell them, do not forward it to me, and like, stop it.
You heard Mama Sandra. No smiles.
Yep. And the commissioner did say, if you receive these, delete them, do not share them. Like, again, it is very dangerous that these persons who may have assisted in helping to bring like, a family to justice, is very unfair to put them in such a violent situation, and also just shows bad character on our own island trying to like bring people to justice. They also wanted to they wanted to ensure the community though that they have really strict like guidelines put in place when people do come forward to help assist with cases. To the fact that the commission doesn't even know who these individuals are most of the time.
Who's going to want to step forward after seeing that? Like, come on, people, be smart.
Let's do better, folks. What else you got for us, Maya?
Oh, in other news, the Minister of National Security plans to introduce a cybersecurity bill in the House of Assembly next year, though, followed by a cyber crime bill. This statement was made during the International Conference on Cyber Law, Cybercrime, and Cybersecurity, which was held last week.
Well, they'd say what we say against the government is cybercrime. I mean, holding them accountable. So, I mean, I'd need more details about what cybercrime is to this national security minister and his government, but I'm not going there today. What else you got for us?
Next on the list, the Concerned Citizens Group will be hosting a press conference on Wednesday to inform the wider community, environmental groups, and organizations of their effort to have the shipping containers that are storage up in St. David's with medical waste removed from St. David's. A fuller story to follow at the end of this week, as I'll be trying to follow up on that.
So medical waste goes to St. David's?
There's still medical waste, some of it like largely being from, pandemic waste that we use for like vaccines and things like that. And there's shipping containers that are just sitting up there in St. David's. I want to say they are maybe before the roundabout turn, if you want to go all the way down to Clearwater. It's just a ton of them just lined up there. And they are trying to get those medical waste removed from St. David's.
Interesting.
Where are we going to put them?
Good question.
This may sound very random and odd. I never even thought of like where medical waste goes to. But okay. Something to think about, folks. Thank you for that. What else you got for us, Maya?
Well, last things on the list, the Minister of Youth, Culture and Sport advised that Bermuda Sports Awards are open again for nominations. If you want to nominate the favorite athlete of the year in Bermuda, you're welcome to do that. Go to sportsawards.bm. And today is Giving Tuesday, as we mentioned yesterday. So if you want to support a charity, that's a great day to do it today. And a reminder that, the UN Day of Persons with Disabilities is tomorrow, December 3rd. So if you're not sure who to donate to, maybe donate to a charity that helps with persons with disabilities.
All righty. And how's the weather today, Maya?
I don't know, Sandra, how's the weather today?
I mean, she's looking out. She's looking to the left, folks.
It's partly cloudy, like little breeze. I don't know. What's the official? I feel hot though. I feel like we were cold for a few days, and then yesterday I dressed so warm, and I was like, "Why am I so hot?" And today I feel hot again.
It's all over the place. It's very humid. So today it's becoming brighter after a couple of showers are supposed to happen this morning, maybe one or two, and it's going to be strong winds, varying a little bit moderate as it comes to the evening, and we have a high of 73 degrees Fahrenheit today.
73. That's not too bad. What you got for days of the year for us, Sandra?
Today is National Chocolate Day.
Oh.
Do you guys love chocolate? I love chocolate.
Yeah,
it's a weakness for me. So chocolate is one of the greatest pleasures that life has to offer, providing hope in the darkness of what might be otherwise drab culinary experience. Chocolate didn't find its way into the culinary repertoire of the Western world until the Spanish learned of it. From this simple beginning, it has spread throughout the world to be one of the most desired treats of all social and economic classes. National Chocolate Day celebrates the history of this delicious treat, especially in one of its most popular forms and varieties of chocolate.
No, I'm not doing it. My life changed. I'm not going out there eating no chocolate. I'm not doing it. It's been 2 days. It's been 2 days, folks. It's been 2 days. You all laugh what you want. It's been 2 days. I'm changed my life. I'm changing my life.
I had chocolate yesterday.
Me too.
And probably the day before that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you do not have to twist my arm.
I'm a changed man.
Halloween, I took all of the chocolates.
Yeah.
Every Reese's Pieces.
Yep.
You all did. Yeah. You all did. Have mine too. I'm a changed man. 2 days strong. 2 days strong. But you know what? Since it's Giving Tuesday, right? You said mine?
Mm-hmm.
Given. Since it's given, you know what? We'll give away another medical House a gift card today. That's what we'll do. We gave one here.
Nice.
Since we're in the giving mood. So you stick around to the end of our show today. We have Daren Herbert coming up. Maya, thank you so much for that. And we'll see you tomorrow.
You're welcome. And I won't participate in the raffle today.
Oh, Maya won yesterday. No, please do. Please do.
I mean, my grandma would have appreciated the gift, but it's cool.
No, please do, Maya. Please do. We appreciate you because it keeps everyone else on their P's and Q's. So we look forward to having you involved today.
How did that happen?
See ya.
Bye.
All right, folks. If you appreciated this morning's discussion regarding the customer service, give us a thumbs up, a like wherever you're tuned in from. Do not go anywhere. We have a Bermudian star coming up. Daren Herbert is joining us for a conversation. He's doing the work, so do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with Daren Herbert.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
All righty, welcome back to the Big Show Central Durham. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that join button underneath the video on YouTube to sign up to become an official member of our channel. We are welcoming you on our team. Become a part of the community. Without further ado, let's bring our guest today. We've got a shining star, Bermudian actor, Daren Herbert. He has not been on since the beginning, and we are happy to have him back.
Morning.
They love you, man. They love you. Let me calm down. He's here.
I'll take it.
Good morning. Welcome,
morning.
man.
And good morning, Sancha.
Good morning. I've known Daren forever.
I was about to say it's been donkey's years.
I know, right?
Yeah, she's old like that. Yeah. But Maya seemed starstruck when she realized who it was on the show today.
Yeah, I'm gonna age myself and say I know Maya's parents. So yeah, indeed. I mean, you know, but I've been following her. I've been following her career too. So morning, Maya.
This is awesome. But look, first of all, thanks for doing this. I know it is early, and you are based in Toronto right now, right? But let's get right into it. You've done quite a bit of work, notably Dream Girls. A lot of people know that, in Vogue, Christmas, back in 2014, 2015.
I believe you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I've done a little bit of research, I think. But more recently, you've been a part of the series Pretty Hard Cases, right?
Yep.
How was that experience for you?
Fingers crossed, it's still going. I'm having a ball. It's it's a cop show, a comedy, but it's got some real heart to it. And we've got 3 seasons in the can. Season 3, actually, I got the debut date. It drops January 4th out here anyway on Canadian TV. But people get it various ways in Bermuda too, on cable or whatnot. So the first episode of season 3 will be dropping on January 4th, my late brother's birthday. So yes.
Wow. Awesome, man. Just a Bermudian in a series is not something. I mean, people ask me all the time in the U.S. about, where's the like little Bermuda, like how you have little Haiti, little Italy, and all these. Like we just don't have that many people where we can have a community. But it's awesome when we get to have conversations with Bermudians in such spaces like this. But recently, just yesterday, actually, he tweeted, former Commissioner of Police Jonathan Smith. He tweeted that he saw you perform in Choir Boy in Toronto not long ago.
Yeah.
How was that show, and how does it feel knowing like a Bermudians out there witnessing you?
Oh, I loved it. He's managed to catch me after the show. Sometimes I walk home from the theater because much of the work that I do is within walking distance of him. But I was walking to the streetcar and he pulled out from this parking garage and said, "I just want to let you know I'm a fellow Bermudian. I love the show, enjoyed your performance." I was like, "Oh, thank you. I didn't realize somebody from home was in the house tonight." It always feels good when folks from home get to come in and enjoy my work, and we get to chat at least for a little bit. That was a real quick exchange, but I was happy to see him and hear him because it's the accent, you know what I mean? So as soon as I hear that, I'm like, yes, all right. I don't know. It just stimulates something. It always feels good when I'm far from him.
Indeed. And how has the experience been on stage doing Choir Boy?
For me, it's the first theater piece that I've done since the break of COVID. I mean, in 2020, I was scheduled to be on stage in like 4 plays at Soul Pepper Theater here, and I got one of them done. We were rehearsing the second one, and then we got a shutdown. What was it, March 14th, 2020? And I haven't been back on a live stage in a theater until we just did Choir Boy. So it had its own way of being scary for me. It was, of course, fun and in a theater that I have never played in before as well. I've worked with some of the people who were in the cast with me before as well in different capacities. But overall, I would say it was awesome. I didn't want it to end. It was only a 2-week run here, and then we pick it up and do it for closer to a month in Vancouver in 2024. So fingers crossed we get all our cast members back, because anything can happen in between there. People could get a TV gig, people could be on tour, anything could happen. But hopefully we get the full cast back and we take the show to Vancouver in 2024.
Indeed.
This is so exciting. I mean, you are so well-rounded, right? So what's the biggest difference? You're like on TV, you're on stage, what's the biggest difference between acting in a television series, a movie, a stage play? What's the difference between the three? Like the feeling as well.
I enjoy them both. The big differences from my perspective would be time and money. The TV gig, when we shoot pretty hard cases, for example, we shoot from like May to September. So I can't come home during the summertime because that's our shooting window. I mean, I couldn't, because the flights are not the way they used to be. So May to September, I have some days on, some days off, but I could be working any number of hours in a day. I could, the time. And of course, we get a lot more money for doing TV than we do for theater. Theater is a way more condensed period of time to prepare the piece and rehearse it, but you get to dig deep and you get to experiment with stuff a little bit more. I try to do it in both mediums, but the main difference I would say it would be time and money. I love them both. I can't imagine a life without doing both, a career without doing both.
How about movies though? How about what's the biggest difference doing a movie?
It's been a while since I did a movie. The movie is more along the lines of the TV, but a bit more intense. And you could get rehearsal time depending on the size of the role on the movie and what is involved. But I guess with the movie you have a bit more breath. TV is always on a tight schedule. Like we shoot one episode takes us like 10 days of shooting, and we do get weekends off. So we could be running an episode from like one Thursday to the following Monday, Tuesday, and then flip over and pick up the next episode. In movies, I don't know, it feels like I have more time as an actor anyway. And you can do some work and stuff beforehand and prepare and rehearse with people, or, run lines with them, whatever have you, depending on the size of the role and how much time you have. But once you're on set, there's time is always money. So somebody's always rushing, but it feels like you have a bit more time to kind of breathe into a role and discover things with the other actors.
I don't want to show everyone your age, but how long have you been acting?
You can show my age. What am I? I'm 46. I'll be 47 in January. I ain't shy about that. I've been doing it as a career probably since I finished school. So that would be 2005. But back when we were younger. I mean, hip hop dancing, singing, acting. I didn't know it would be a career back then. I just used to do it a lot. And people used to call me, so I kept coming. I did it with Susie Harvey. Did it with.
We used to dance together.
Yeah, was that Red Show? Did we do that in Red Show?
We did Red Show together. Yes.
The Pat Nisbet. Also, when you said Little Bermuda, that triggered me because I'm been working on a project where I've been sucking in as many Bermudians as possible. It's a project for Audible, and it's set in Bermuda. So of course, I've been putting names in the. Somehow somebody reached out to me for consulting, but I spoke to Pat because I put her name in the mix, and I think she's actually going to be working on the project too. But she told me that there's Bermudians moving to Ghana. And then I saw this video clip of some people over there building Bermuda-style houses. And I said, this might be the first place where there would be a little Bermuda because it looked like all the houses.
Yeah.
You see that video too?
Yeah.
I said, I recognize some of these people. And I'm like, oh, they're building Bermuda-style houses in Ghana.
Yes, I heard about it.
Yeah. So there might be a little Bermuda in Ghana. I'm like, I'm ready to go.
I'm for it. I'm for it.
Ready to go visit? Yes.
All three of us. Let's take a trip. So what's your dream role?
I feel like I have so many of them. There's projects now that I'm actually birthing with other people, with fellow artists. I'm part of a collective of artists here. We call ourselves Grace Moon Theater Company. And we act together, we do class together, we work on projects together, we write things together. So my dream is to work within that unit, within our family, on many projects. We did a short film a couple of weeks ago while rehearsing Choir Boy. One of our members, she was taking a directing course through Sundance, and she got like two of us, and Joanne made an appearance too. Ori did too, in Pictures on the Fridge in the project. But we shot a short film, a 5-minute something in like a day, on a Monday, on my day off from rehearsal. And what came out was so beautiful. I'm like, I want to do more of this. Anytime any of us has an idea and we go, listen, I want to shoot this. Can we do it? Because these days, it doesn't even have to be a full production. It doesn't have to be a full film. It doesn't. You can make a TikTok show or a TikTok movie, basically, which is blowing my mind because I don't know nothing about social media. I'm not the best with it either. But just because of the way things can get done and made now, there's no limit. So my dream is to do a lot of that. But I also have dream theater projects, and like this project that with Audible is a dream come true too, because now I'm sucking in more Bermudians. I'm getting people from home in and hopefully bringing some work to the island. So those are old dreams of mine as well. Some of them are coming true. Some of them I need to be working a lot harder on to achieve. But the dreams are big.
Nice. So the Choir Boy has wrapped up in Toronto. Do you have any solid roles that are up next for you?
The next thing I'll be working, I'm doing a reading. I just saw it on Twitter, so I retweeted it myself. That's how slow I am. But Randy Williams, who's up here, he's a preacher at a church. I'm doing a reading at his church over the holiday season. And then I will be working on a play called Yerma with a theater company here in town, Coal Mine Theater. They actually just had a fire in the fall in their space and got burnt out, but they're moving to a new space, and we're going to open the new space in January, February with this play Yerma, an adaptation. So that'll be my next project that I'll be working on.
Nice.
Daren, your energy is just like, so, it's amazing.
I'm chasing dreams, I'm living my dream and chasing dreams at the same time. So,
I love it. So with that said, it's so many Bermudians who have dreams and aspirations to follow in a path like yours. What advice would you give them?
Do it and keep doing it. Especially, my mind is being blown by the things that people can do with technology now, the good things, because I heard about some of the naughty things that people are doing of late as well on the island. But like I said, you can get people together. Like I see people producing stuff already, artists. I don't know if I'm allowed to quote stuff, but either way, Dion the Creative, Burmemes, all like people are already doing it. So it's just a matter. It doesn't have to be the best of quality. It doesn't. You'll get there. Like work your way towards it. But if you have ideas, if you have things in there cooking and marinating, chuck the marinating part and get to it. Get on something, shoot something with a camera. You can do it with your phone. You can make movies with your phone if you want to. So do it. Just do it and do it wrong. Do it wrong a lot. I get things wrong all the time. That's why we go to class. We go to class to make as many mistakes as possible. But do it. Just keep doing it. There's no reason not to in this day and age. That's my advice.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because I was just telling someone over the weekend that doing this show, when I was in college, they made you believe you needed like a $100,000 studio with $50,000 worth of equipment and so on. And now, all you need is access to social media and the internet, right? To kind of push out content. So I definitely agree with you with that. Folks, if you have any questions or comments for Daren, please feel free to share. Rosalind Famous, she says, I will never forget hearing a Bermudian accent on a major TV series, Kim's Convenience. Such a feeling of pride. I mean, people were going crazy about that. How did that one come about?
Oh, I loved doing that. I was a little, I'm not hurt anymore, but I was hurt when the series came to an abrupt end, because that was my first season on the series, season 5. That was awesome. I loved it. They put out a call for somebody from either British background or Ireland background, and for some reason, Joanne said to me, just do Bermudian. That's a bit of both of this. I was like, oh yeah. So I auditioned with it. They took me with it. They brought me on the show, and bam, off to the races we went. And they had to keep asking me to keep refreshing. So you're from Bahamas, right? No, Bermuda. So you're from Barbados, right? No, Bermuda. I just saw a meme of that or something too on Instagram, and I was like, that was me. Constantly, they kept asking me because they wanted to get it right. They didn't want to make a mistake. And I showed up to set one day and the place they had for my office had a Bermuda flag. They had asked me for pictures of my family and stuff. So I was like, I supplied a few, and when I showed up to the office, it was decorated with that stuff. I was like, all right. now all I have to do is not embarrass myself or anybody from Bermuda. Let me make sure I just relax into this and don't do too much. Don't work too hard. Don't push the accent too, because they kept asking me, can you do it a bit more with your accent? And of course, my normal default is to match people around me. So as soon as they say action and the other characters, the other actors are talking to me, I would start doing that little code switch that Bermudians do to be understood. And he was like, no, don't do that. But like, make it, do the stronger one, do the stronger version of the accent. So, that was the basic, that was my job. Just be Bermudian. And I didn't even have to try to be funny. Just work with the people around you, react to them. So for me, that was a dream. That was a dream come true too. Check that one off the list.
Did they have any trouble understanding the Bermudian accent? Anyone?
For the most part, I think I kept it in a region that they could follow. I mean, I never heard them say, I didn't understand what you were talking about. Sometimes they'll give me correction notes, and I was like, yeah, I can't really do that in this accent. We're not gonna make that sound with that word, but I could give you something different if I got something for you, and I'll pull something out the pocket, But it cracked me up too when I had to do 80. Even on PHC, I think I brought a little Bermudian guy for a scene on there. Now I'm looking for every opportunity to do it I could find. Like there's a new series coming out that I didn't make a tape for yet, but I think I want a sneak attack because it's set at JFK. And I'm like, island people work at JFK airport. I'm spend time with them. There's people from all kinds of islands that keep that place running. So this guy could be Bermudian. So I put something on tape. I'm making him Bermudian and see what happens. This Bermudian will be showing up with another series with a Bermudian accent and a Bermudian background, and possibly Bermudian family members. I'm always thinking in those terms. I'm like, if I get this job and they have to cast somebody to play my sibling, they have to sound like me too. So that's another job for Bermuda. There's 2 Bermudians working on this. If they get to cast my parents, that's 3 Bermudians working on a gig. So I'm always dreaming in that space as well when I'm chasing gigs. I ain't even booked the job yet, by the way. I ain't even sent an audition tape. I'm already dreaming in that direction. That's how quick it happens for me.
I love the way you think, man.
Yes.
That's awesome. And Bermudians, give yourselves a shot, create content and find ways to connect with people like Daren. Karen Simmons, she says, in addition to acting, TVs, movies, plays / theater, do you also play an instrument based on your familiar connection? So your family is musicians?
There's musicians, there's gumbe drummers, there's a gumbe dance. My uncle Basil, who's still living and on the island. My uncle Jose, still living on the island. Jose is a drummer. Basil says he's the best gumbe dancer Bermuda's ever had. I have no reason to argue with him because I don't remember ever seeing him dance gumbes, but I'm not going to argue with him. His son is a drummer, Scoop Burgess. He's a gumbe drummer. My daddy plays a bunch of instruments. I'm seeing him, the ones I've witnessed him playing, piano, organ. He sings at church, Fresh Church of God. He used to be choir director down there. I think Evening Light Tabernacle around Court Street, other places. But he's getting up there. But he's a musician. He plays things with his hands. He sings. I think I've seen him with a guitar and a picture from when he was younger with a group with my cousin Ronald, and they play by ear. They don't read music. He didn't read music anyway, my daddy. And 2 of his older sisters, I think, also who were school teachers And his the youngest of 14 children. Let's get that out there first. So my dad is the baby, but he plays instruments, and 2 of his sisters I know, I've witnessed them playing as well. All of them are musicians. So what I played when I went work academy. When I went work academy, I played baritone horn or euphonium in the band. And my cousin Neil, who lives in St. George's on my mama's side now, he's a euphonium player too. He played in the Salvation Army band, Neil Francis. Shout out to my Francis clan in St. George's too.
Man, you just have music in your veins. And the Chico Trot says his dad used to sing all the time in his math classes. Did you know this?
Do you know? I do. I'm aware. People. She's not the first one to tell me that, but also I do it too. Like that's one thing I'm known for on set at Pretty Hard Cases. If I'm not singing, people's like, "What's wrong, Daren?" Because in between, that's what relaxes me, and it's also a bit, it's a bit egotistical because I like people to hear my voice. I like to hear my own voice, so I'm always singing between takes, around the set, when I'm nervous, even while we're working, and things are taking maybe a little bit longer than usual. I'm sneaking a song in. Somebody says something that sets me off, and sometimes people sing along. Sometimes they're not in the mood, so I kind of just feel them out. But oh yeah, singing. My dad's probably singing now. He's probably at his house on the keyboard first thing in the morning, with his earphones on. He does it with earphones now, so the whole neighborhood doesn't have to hear it. But when we were growing up around Shelley Bay, oh yeah, he didn't have no qualms about busting out on his organ in the living room, and the neighborhood's getting a concert right now, from Bach to gospel music to whatever was coming out of his head at the time, because he's not reading it, he's just playing it from his head. So
this is, man, I love it. I love it, and the energy, everything. We got some more comments. Roslyn Famous, thank you for spreading our unique accent.
Yes, sir.
Mia Hartman says Mr. Herbert was one of my favorite teachers at St. George's Sec. Before you go, I mean, you've said so many things today, and one thing that stands out to me is what you just said a couple minutes ago regarding when you think of yourself in a role, and you want, you're saying, oh, I want to put a Bermudian accent. I don't have the role yet, but my dream is to do that. And if this role has a brother, a sibling, or a sister, or a father, you're thinking Bermudian too. How important is it, in your opinion, to be inclusive like that, to grow people who are similar to you as far as background?
For me, it feels like a built-in thing. I guess it wasn't always that way in the business in general. Like since 2020, since the pandemic, but also George Floyd, and just what people who are not Black call the woke movement, which drives me back to you just mean Black. You just mean people standing up for themselves and using their voices. Black people, First Nations people, Asian people, everybody standing up for themselves. And somehow people who feel like they're only receiving it and call it wokeness. But since before that, getting jobs and being employed, it wasn't like it is now. Like I literally booked this TV show in 2020. I think it had something to do with that. The fact that the business was looking at itself and saying, yeah, people have been saying this for a while. We didn't believe them before, but for some reason, post George Floyd, they believed everything we said. So they made a focus on getting people of, all different ethnicities, making sure we were front and center in gigs, which before we used to be strictly background or not appearing at all. So from that period of time, and I'm talking about non-gender conforming people, LGBTQI, everybody now, all of a sudden they're looking, because before, if you read a script, everything with the assumption would be all the characters are white unless specifically stated. Now everybody's casting in a way, and they still have that habit. Is you can still read it in the script. Like they're sending me scripts and having me read for somebody named Kowalski. But they also have this caveat attached to the breakdowns that says we are committed to inclusivity and diversity in the cast and any this. Okay, I'm gonna take you at your word, and I'm going to, multiply that by at least 3 or 4 people, like not just me. Who's playing my family members? Period. Dot. And the same for everybody around me. Like if it's an Asian character, why you gonna give them a white daddy, or you're gonna explain it in the story to say they were adopted and this how it came about? Like we need you to be thinking in these terms now. And if you're not comfortable casting us, okay, fair enough. Stand on that and say, in your imagination we don't exist, because I see that all the time in work. Like I watched, what was it, House of the Dragon? And I was like, yes, diversity in House of the Dragon. They got Black people on the show. Then they start killing them off so quick. I was like, I mean, I'm not spoiling nothing. That's an old series, right? But I said, did you all miss 2020? Black lives are supposed to matter. You can't have the actor on for one episode and then chop off the head, and that's it. And this was you fulfilling your diversity commitment. This is the result of 2020. This is what y'all were doing before 2020. So yeah, it's important to me. It feels like part of the job. More people should be appearing. I watched the Lord of the Rings series too, and I was like, okay, this is closer. See, you're putting people in places, you're not even shining a light on it. They're just there. You got black hobbits, you got black elves, of course. Why we can't exist in your imagination? How come you always imagine a fake universe with flying dragons and magic and wizards, but you don't want us to appear in it? That don't make no sense to me. Like that just sounds to me like you don't like being around us and you don't like having us around. Fine, you could say that, but go ahead and say it outright so we all can know and say this. You're that kind of person. Don't pretend that you're a liberal, but then be putting up this kind of work. Like the two don't go for me.
Interesting. And we usually ask, and I guess you just said it, like some of the challenges that you face in this industry, because obviously, we see what's on camera. We see, we're getting behind you regardless, right? But you obviously just spoke of some of the challenges that Black actors face in this industry, the cons of it. But obviously the pros are getting the work, and once you overcome those challenges, being able to see opportunities not just for yourself but for others as well.
To pull other people in. I'm talking about for Black hair care too. The fact that I'm wearing this style of hair, like there's been times even during the course of this show, which is quite open to diversity and learning, and bringing in more people and learning what was being done wrong for so long. Like for Black actors, we used to have to we would come to set hair ready because we don't know who's going to be working in that trailer, and we don't know what level of experience they have with Black hair. So we would pay out of pocket and get ourselves though. We'll go to the barbershop and show up so they don't have to do nothing to us. So we'll be like, okay, what's safe? What's that? You ain't got to touch my hair because I don't know what level of experience you have with it. And they didn't want to admit that they didn't know what to do. So you'll show up, they'll mess with your head, and you're looking jacked up afterwards. Even if they jack it up for on camera, they'll spray some stuff in there to cover the divots and whatnot. But then you got to walk around in the world after you finish the job with a jacked up hairdo. So even that kind of thing, I've been pulling in people from hair and makeup and stuff. Like if you don't know how to do it, get somebody who does. And if they're not in the union, make them union. Make sure we're not doing extra work that other actors are not required to do because they have a different type of hair. If your people don't know, they don't know. Bring somebody who knows and pay them for their skill and knowledge. So yeah, it's important to, it's becoming a bit more inclusive. It's still a struggle though. It's still a fight. You can tell because I'm still in the fight. So it ain't solved. But
that actually happened to me when I was in New York. I did a commercial. I'm not going to say who it's for. And they had this lady come in to do my hair. I was the only Black girl. It was a really big company that I did this commercial for. And I looked at I was just like, no, hold on. Give me a minute. Let me take care of this real quick. Because they had no clue.
Yep.
Interesting. And again, these are things that person like me just don't see, doesn't even consider to think of. Like, all I see is what's on camera. And so, we look, it's said in the audience, Zakiya Johnson Lloyd says, we love to see you, Herb, so talented, so grounded, such a strong LGBT ally as well. We appreciate you.
I appreciate that. I love you, Z. She came up to see the show too. She and Ketaway, yes, we go way back too. And they came and saw Quiet Boy and stayed with us for a night. They came up from the US just for one day, just to see the play, and then they went back.
This is the support I'm talking about. We got to make it up, Sancha, when they hit Vancouver. We are so proud of you. Much love, Joanne Smith says.
Yes, cousin. Thank you.
Look, honestly, we can go on. There's so much more to discuss with you. I mean, I definitely don't want it to be another 2 years before you come back on.
I love the chops. So.
Yeah, no, and we do too. We do too. I mean, trust me. Charles H. Jefferson II says, that's what I enjoyed about the Bridgerton series, having Black actors in roles that ordinarily would have been white.
And the showrunner's Black. See,
really?
That's a what's I don't want to mess up her name, but plenty of shows. Grey's Anatomy. All that. She's got a whole universe of Shonda Rhimes. Yes.
Well, share with us how important in the industry is it to have like a Ava DuVernay, is it her name?
Ava DuVernay, yeah.
Yeah, and Shonda Rhimes. How important is it for us that these people are involved?
It's everything. For me, that's a big sigh of relief. If you have a Black woman running things, like at the top of the quote unquote pyramid or food chain, I mean, everything is hierarchical, whether we love it or not. It's a collaborative art form, but things boil down to hierarchy in the biz. And if it's a Black woman at the top, for me, that's a sigh of relief, even in theater, because there's Black women who now run theater companies in this city, which wasn't the case prior to 2020. Like, people have made a conscious effort. Some people have actually decided, oh, you know what? I have been part of the problem. Let me either make a space in my company or step aside and let somebody else be at the helm. But the Black women artists who have been grinding for years and years, almost in the dark, or, you know, taking what they could get here and there, but they've been accruing experience. So they're prepared to run a ship. They just need somebody to give them the keys. And for many years, nobody was even looking that way. Now they're in positions like this, and they're like, check out all the art that that's been in my heart. Check out all the stuff that's come from my people and all this time. And by the way, I know this playwright who's in school. I know this costume designer who I worked with many times on no budget projects. I know that they pull in people automatically because Black women just run everything. I'm always surprised when I look back home and I go, where's all the Black women politicians? Or you know where they are? Working. They're working. They're doing other stuff. So I'm like, yes, but if that at the top of the pyramid, chances are it's going to be very inclusive. It's that radical love. Like I've learned to incorporate this term because my acting teacher, my coach, Michelle, she's the top of the pyramid for our little group of people, Grace Moon artists who I was talking about earlier. If she's at the top, chances are they're pulling everybody in with this big, all-embracing love and truth. Like, honestly, they're going to tell you for real because they ain't got time to pretend. They already know from the outside world. People been telling us, you know, we're not worth anything, or we're less than, or we're not as pretty as, or we're not. So when they get in charge, they're like, everybody is welcome. You are all beautiful in my eyes. I know what it feels like, and I'm not doing it I'm not going to make a conscious effort to do it to other people. So all of you, come in, bring me what you got. Like, that's my experience anyway, you know, whereas other people in the biz, it will be a lot about ego and about, I run this thing. I'm in charge. I'm the smartest person in the room. I'm the this. And the Black women are like, give me as many as you can. Give me everybody who is her, who's never had a voice. Come, take the mic. Come talk.
Interesting.
Like, that's what I've experienced anyway in the business.
Interesting.
They're always pulling people in. So they're training me. Like on my show, Adrian, training. I'm getting behind you. Karen Robinson on my show. What you want to do, I'm with you, because this has been on my heart, but I'm not always inclined to share it. I wasn't inclined to talk about it out loud. But Black women, they've been fighting for everything since day one, including my mama. Shout out to her too.
Shout out to moms.
They know what it's like to fight for themselves and to fight for other people. So especially the mamas, Black mamas, fighting for their children. Hello, in school, in public, in fights. Look, I feel myself getting heated.
No.
If it's a Black woman at the top of the food chain, you're on the right track. If it's somebody, if it's anybody else, I'm gonna vet you. I'm gonna examine how committed you are to this inclusivity that you're talking about. With them, I'm relaxed. I'm like, you're there, I'm cool. I'm in the right place.
And I think it goes to I want to say it might have been the Daily Hour Twitter a couple of weeks ago. It was a conversation about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and a Black Bermudian woman who's in the IB space basically responded saying that DEI has only benefited white women, which was an interesting response. But then I said, well, let me look and see all these promotions that are announced in the newspaper and so on. Well, there was a trend there. So I didn't have anything to go on with it because that's not my space. But when I went to look to see what this person's referring to, I understood it. So it's interesting, but we've got to go. We've got to wrap it up. But looking forward to having you back on in the coming months to discuss some other things that you're doing. Because if people didn't pick up in this conversation, he's not just acting and bringing people on board. He's out fighting for causes and people. So there's much more to Daren Herbert than you see on the screen. And we want to make sure that we bring that to you in hopes of inspiring all of us to keep going and fighting for things that we believe in. So Daren, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You and the family. Last, I guess your little princess is still sleeping. She ran on camera.
I heard him wake.
She didn't run on camera this time.
No, because I'm waiting for the doorknob to start to twist, and I'm like, because I'm in her room. Yep, there it goes.
Boy, you're getting kicked out. Well, look, thank you so much, and please don't be a stranger.
We'll try not to be, and I'm happy to be here. Good morning.
She's coming in her room, folks.
Yes.
She's coming in
What
her
do you
room.
tell me? You just woke up? You see, I'm in an interview.
Good morning. He's like, oh, why would you do that?
I didn't want to be on camera. Shame on you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Morning, Princess. Have a great one, Daren. Thank you.
You all have a good day.
Alrighty. Daren Herbert, folks, if you appreciated that conversation, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share these conversations with your friends and your family. She definitely did say not today, as Zakia said. Do not go anywhere, folks. Just do one thing. Like it. Just like the post. Share it with your family and friends. To me, I mean, I love conversations like this. I love Bermudians who makes time to have these discussions with Bermudians when they're overseas and doing their thing in spaces that so many other Bermudians would like to be. So a credit, again, thanks to Daren Herbert. We're going to take a quick break. We've got the Daily Play coming up. We're going to do a giveaway. I promised you a giveaway. We'll do a giveaway when we come back, since it's Giving Day, right? That's what Maya said? Giving Day? All right.
Giving Tuesdays.
Giving Tuesday. Stick with us.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All righty, welcome back. Thanks again to Daren Herbert, folks. Again, if you appreciated that conversation, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Thanks again to One Communications Medical House and there's People's Pharmacy for ensuring we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0, great taste, no alcohol, and Bermuda Trivia. Now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sancha, are you ready?
I am.
All right, here we go. What beer company's commercials feature Clydesdale stomping through a winter wonderland?
I'm just going to guess Budweiser.
All right.
That was an honest guess. I'm like, Budweiser seems to be the only beer that would invest in Christmas commercials. Like, you know?
Yeah, it was Budweiser, Sandra.
Yeah. You
got it. We're going to wrap it up, folks. The hashtag for today is, everyone got it, actually. Everyone got it. Everyone got it. Even Sherry. Yeah, I said even. Folks, hashtag the Daily Hour for today. We're going to give away a Medical House gift card to you today. So hashtag the Daily Hour. Sandra, let's wrap it up. Customer service and then Daren Herbert.
So customer service, as everyone found out today, it is definitely a pet peeve for me. I am a caller, but hearing Maya say that she's a caller too, and she's committed to, some face-to-face contact and some live contact, I feel like there may be a curve in the industry at some point. It may not be tomorrow, but a few years from now. But I'm hopeful that it'll come back. But I think it's important. I do not like these automated. I'm not a social media person. I don't want to tweet. I don't want to type. I just want to speak to someone. So, yeah. With Daren, my gosh, so refreshing. You know what I took away from it? As I've said on the show before, I was an actress in New York for years. I was doing independent films, off-Broadway musicals, and all sorts. And I remember saying I came back to Bermuda because being a struggling actress was not fun. But in Daren's message today, never once was it about the struggle of, or, how we're seen, or it was the challenges in a positive light and how we make it better, and the positivity that comes out of it and how we put a spin on it. It wasn't a challenge to him, but it was a challenge, but a challenge that was doable, and how do we make it better? It was just so much positivity that radiated from him, which was amazing. And even him bringing in Bermudians to take roles, and awesome. I haven't spoken to Daren in a while, but his energy, it set my day.
Yeah, I want to say customer service. I think the world changes, but I think what Sanchez said is right. I think things will come full circle. I do think it may be 5, it may be 10 years, but I think it will come full circle. And also companies who don't offer such, like being able to call, will utilize it and put it out there like it's something special that they're offering. So I think it will determine how people do business. In reference to Daren, as I said, I appreciate his story. I appreciate the fight in him. I appreciate his enjoyment of doing what he does, but I also appreciate that he uses his platform to help others. I think my biggest takeaway is how he utilizes his platform to spread and with other Bermudians to think. He's always thinking about others with every role before he even gets it. So I think that's a key takeaway there. Let's do the daily hour giveaway. So I think Medical House, I said. Yeah, Medical House gift card. Let's do it. Let's see who the winner's gonna be. Alrighty. That's it. Listen. All right. Let's go. Who's the winner today? Pamela Wade. Congratulations, not a Pam. You know what to do. Send us an email, engage@thedailyhour.com to collect your gift card. So give Pamela Wade a big congratulations, audience. Sancha, what you got? Daily inspiration.
So life is inherently risky. There's only one big risk you should avoid at all times, and that is the risk of doing nothing. And that's by Dennis Waitley.
Like that one. All right, folks. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you. We love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sancha Durham. I'm Jamel Hartman. My friends, please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.